We have breaking news right now. We are just learning Louisiana Congressman and House Majority Whip Steve Scalise has been shot. Aides say he was practicing baseball early this morning in Alexandria, Virginia, across the river from Washington, when 50 shots were reportedly fired. Another local report saying 5 or more people were shot, many of them aides of Mr. Scalise. Congressman's condition unclear at this point.
Let's bring in Chad Pergram, who's our congressional reporter, and he has some more information on this breaking news. Chad, what can you tell us?
Each morning, members of the House who play in this congressional baseball game, which is scheduled for tomorrow night at the Nationals Park in Washington, it's a charity baseball game. It goes back to 1909. The Democrats play the Republicans. They practice at a field in Alexandria, Virginia. And about 7:15 this morning, I am told by multiple sources, a gunman with a rifle arrived at the practice and began firing. I am told that Steve Scalise, the majority whip who plays, was shot in the hip. We're also told that multiple aides were shot as well. We don't have any conditions at this point. They usually have security at this event. In fact, they have kind of amped up the security of this over the years. But they take this baseball game pretty seriously, which is why they go out and they practice about 6 o'clock in the morning in preparation for the ball game tomorrow. It's a point of pride between the sides. Now, I'm told that the shooting went on for about 10 minutes. It is unclear if the gunman was apprehended, but I am told by an aide that the shooting stopped after about that point. I live in Alexandria, Virginia, just a couple of miles from where this is, and I got an alert that there had been a shooting at this area, that strikes me based on knowing the city of Alexandria across the river from Washington, D.C. That's an odd location to have a shooting. There was a lot of activity here in Alexandria this morning, police activity. You could hear sirens and things. And we're trying to figure out just what happened. But this game was scheduled for tomorrow morning.
Okay. Well, Chad, let me ask you a question. Is this something that you'd have to schedule? Would you have to say, I need that field at 6? Or would that be something that just a sitting congressman would just say, I just need to go practice and find a field?
No, they scheduled this. And, in fact, a memo was shared with me just yesterday, an internal memo that people had sent around about security for the ball game and how members should enter the baseball stadium and so on.
Okay. Chad, I've just gotten a message from Senator Mike Lee from Utah, who says that he is hearing that Scalise was shot in the hip and is expected to be okay. That is good news. According to Senator Lee, the shooter was shot by Scalise's security detail, and according to the senator, the shooter is dead.
Okay. Now, that's, like I said, this is just coming in here. I have, just as you read that question here, an update from the Alexandria police here that says they're investigating multiple shootings, and they say suspect believed in custody, urging people to stay away from the area. I should note that because Steve Scalise is one of the members of the House Republican leadership, he gets a detail, a U.S. Capitol Police detail that go with him everywhere they go. But obviously, you know, if he's out on the diamond, they're not standing right next to him on the field.
Right. We have been told that 2 of them, as far as we know this morning, have also been shot. 2 of the security agents that were with them. Who else?
And these are U.S. Capitol Police officers.
Right. And who else do we know, Chad, that was on the field with the congressman? Any of his colleagues?
Well, sure. I mean, these are members. Only members of Congress are allowed to play in the baseball game. For instance, I was told just the other day that Mick Mulvaney, who used to be a congressman, who's now the budget director, he played for many years when he was in the House. He showed up, actually participated in the practice, but he can't play because he is not in Congress anymore.
We also understand that the shot, the whip was shot, Mr. Scalise was shot in the dugout itself. And let me ask you something, Chad. When you get to that level as in Congress, do you have the same body man? Do you have the same Secret Service with you every day? Or are these people very familiar with him?
Yeah, I mean, you have some of the same people. They have a protective detail with the U.S. Capitol Police that are assigned to the Speaker, the Majority Leader, and the Senate, the Minority Leader, the President Pro Tem, Orrin Hatch from Utah. Steve Scalise is obviously not in the line of succession to the presidency as Speaker Ryan is, or Orrin Hatch, the President Pro Tem of the Senate. But they go with him all the time. In fact, I noted there were 2 events that I was with Steve Scalise in private just here in the past couple of weeks, and his security detail in one case was in the room, just kind of standing off to the side because they were familiar with who the people were. And this was in the U.S. Capitol in his office. Another time they stood out the room. But you see them even walk through the halls of Congress with him. If he's going to a social function, they're with him as well.
All right. I tell you what, Chad, stand by. We'll be back with you in a moment. Just receiving word that FM Talk 1050 has tweeted out that one of the people there used his belt as a tourniquet to stop the bleeding of GOP whip Steve Scalise. Also, according to one other message I've just gotten directly from Senator Mike Lee, he says there was at least one other person shot, including a Scalise staffer who was shot in the chest and is currently en route to the hospital. Now, these are accounts from Senator Mike Lee, who texted me 12 minutes ago asking if I had heard about the shooting that just occurred at the congressional baseball practice. We had not. It is over the river from Washington, D.C. in Alexandria, Virginia. This is something where they get ready for the big game.
The big game tomorrow night. And this is all breaking right now. We are bringing you everything we know.